to flee the war in other countries, so Yemen and Syria. There's also people, right now we are solving the case of a Yemeni boy who is stuck at the border in Medica.
Ladies and gentlemen, how you guys doing? It's your boy MisterJaay, man, aka Kwame Boy, your bong boy, Adekule, Adewale, your doku mwake, Krio boy, Bazinga, Manotashi, your Chinedu, man. We back in the building. You guys good, man? Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to yet another episode of MisterJaay's Reaction. Yo, disclaimer, this right here, this is a non-musical reaction, man. There's just certain things that I just want us to talk about. You dig, man? So before we get started, hit that subscribe button. Smash the like and that notification, man. Give us a thumbs up, leave that comment. Please let that commercial play. You dig, man? This is just I want us to keep it real and just ask a couple of questions. And ladies and gentlemen, for the past 30 days, man, we've been going through all this, the war in Ukraine and the attack, man, you know, the Russian thing, and that has led to a whole lot of breakdown globally. I'm talking about that little problem we started from Ukraine, man. It's sending shockwaves around the world. I'm talking about prices are going up. Prices at the pump, you dig? Prices for certain commodities just skyrocketing because of that little crisis. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we all know, I'm not even going to go back and forth. Let's talk about the whole story of the Ukraine and Russian situation. And if you do not know it, I bet you, I want you to go read before the annexation of Crimea, and then you probably understand a little bit to catch up to what is happening in Ukraine today. And every state on earth, man, every nation, every country has its sovereignty, sovereign powers. And I don't care for whatever reason it is. It could be ego, it could be whatever block, economic bloc, communism, and capital. I don't care what it is. I do not condone, I do not think that one country has the right to go into another country and try to annex part of that country. That being said and done, man, Crimea was a catastrophe. Crimea led to what we're seeing today. If you read and you follow politics and you understand situations like MisterJaay does, you will see that Crimea was just an introduction to what we seen today, because after Crimea, dude got emboldened and he took Donbass, and you know, but I'm not going to try to school you about what is that whole situation. You should do your research and read about it. It's rather unfortunate that it got to this stage where, you know, we're seeing a whole lot of shit happening. People just running away from Ukraine, people who've known, you know, and this is something I want to say though. This whole shit happened because first of all, the American President Donald Trump let that shit happen. He did, because he was an unorthodox, you know, kind of guy who did his thing. Some of you support him, some of you might say whatnot or whatnot, but the fact that he wasn't hard enough in Russia and he was rather trying to kiss ass, elected this situation. That being said, man, I just want us to talk about the recent situation of refugees, bro. It is never, I repeat, it is never ever a good thing to run away from your country for whatever reason that it is, abruptly. Now, 30 days ago, Ukrainians were chilling, feeling good, man, making plans for the future. And then fast forward 30 days today, man, a whole lot of lives have been lost, man. Kids, I'm talking about, it's crazy. It is a problem which needs to be resolved ASAP. But, ladies and gentlemen, in all this whole mess, we get to see the real nature of the West. Because everybody's running helter-skelters, trying to help the Ukrainians right now. Countries are letting them in, taking them in and whatnot ever. And some people are going, some governments are going to the extent of giving immediate emergency visas for these folks to move to their countries and resettle and stuff like that. It's always good to, camaraderie. It's good, man. They are Europeans. They're from Europe, man. They understand themselves. You dig? They have one lineage. You dig? If you check out the history, But ladies and gentlemen, isn't it biased when you see the situation which happened with foreign students studying in Ukraine? I'm talking about the Browns, the Arabs. I'm talking about the Africans who were not even allowed to go through the bother to enter another country. That is that racism already which started. Man, we've heard a whole lot of stories, man, of Africans, Nigerian, South Africans and other countries in Ukraine, and they were trying to leave, but they were not allowed to even enter the train. Like, at what point, at what level do you think that maybe at what century would some of these things be like story of the past? But unfortunately, that is what is happening. Now, this is just one situation. Everybody is crying about Ukraine this, Ukraine that, Ukraine this. Nobody, look, I'm not for any war. You dig? I feel your pain, my Ukrainians, man. But you guys are some bad motherfuckers up in that planet because you guys are not taking no for an answer. Yes, the fact that up to today, the Russians are still struggling to take a stand in certain cities in Ukraine just goes to let you guys know that when people come together, it doesn't matter what kind of bully it is, man. When you guys bond and you stand firm, you guys can take down whoever it is, the giant that it is, you can bring him down. And for the fact that your president, he was given a way out, but he said he's not going to leave. He just wants arms. I do believe, it's my belief that if these people are given the right weapons, man, they're going to whoop Putin's ass up and down the aisle. That's my take. Now, let's not stray away from what I'm trying to say. Ladies and gentlemen, there are certain things which some events in history that when they occur, we are poised to start asking certain type of questions like, there's been a war going on in Syria and Yemen for as long as one can remember, but the world is not saying nothing about it. Yes, the country Qatar has been trying its best to help that little nation, but guess what is happening? Ain't nobody hearing about nothing about these folks. They are starving. They are being bombarded. I'm talking about the Saudi Arabia, and it's just a whole mess. Everything is just going way sideways. And yes, we might put this on the previous administration. I'm talking about the Trump administration that was so corrupt to the bone marrow that everything just, everything is just being exposed right now. But when we want to talk about taking in refugees, when we want to talk about feeling the pain of other countries in crisis, bro, I don't get it. Why? You guys were not feeling the pain of the Syrians. You were not feeling the pains of people from Yemen, the Yemenis. You were not feeling the pain of those in Africa. Of course, we all know that you guys don't pretty much like anything that has to do with motherland. If somebody is from motherland and they got that dark skin and that afro hair, he is not even qualified. You guys treat them differently. You take them in your borders, you lock them up, man. You make shit hard for them. But look at what just happened. It's not even been 30 days, man. Countries have been taking a whole lot of Ukrainian refugees in, those fleeing from crisis. So this is my question to the world. I decided to keep it real today. What is it that people with brown skin and black skin have ever done to deserve this kind of inhumane and discriminatory response to you, man? I don't get it because, yeah, I'm from motherland. Forget the fact that I'm living abroad. You dig? But how can you, in all honesty, you are squeezing all these sanctions just because of, it's not just because, don't get me wrong, I'm not against the Ukrainian and stuff. I love you guys, man, but then it gets to a point where you just need to pause and just wonder, like, man, how different are they, if not because of the skin color? How different is the crisis in Ukraine from that in Syria? And you guys are worried about putting using chemicals. He's been doing that in Syria with Assad for so long. And they've been doing that in Yemen for so long. And then some of these folks that you guys support in motherland, they are just crippling the resources and just killing their own citizens, and you guys don't even give a damn. Yeah, we got crisis all over Africa today, but ain't nobody going hell just kill it. I'm gonna take 100,000 refugees from Congo. I'm gonna take 100,000 refugees from South Cameroon. I'm gonna take 100,000 refugees from the Biafra war. I'm gonna take 100,000 refugees from the Tigray in Ethiopia situation. No, none of you guys are doing that. But all of a sudden, man, because you got refugees that are blue-eyed and you're from your color, you know, oh, you guys are just opening the doors, man. It's a beautiful thing. This is my message, though. When I see shit like this, I get jealous because in Africa, you can see somebody leaving from one African country and try to seek refugee in another African country, but they are treated with so much dishumanity, so much disdain that you wonder. Which is why sometimes you don't understand the fact where you see most Africans trying to get to Europe. Some of them kill themselves just to get to Europe. And you're going to wonder, like, man, what is because they know that in Africa, they will not be treated appropriately. Do you guys, I'm talking about, let's look at the African Union, man. What our leaders really doing? You guys seen the situation in Ukraine, how the whole of Europe has responded? That's the situation, man. There are multitudes of situations in motherland. And none of you guys, I'm talking about the AU, African Union, none of you guys have done anything. All you do, you focus there is to embezzle and rob money. I know some of this shit is going to make me not wanted in many countries, but it gets to a point where, bro, you just ask yourself, man, bro, what the fuck is going on? You dig? Now, while we are crying about the case in Ukraine, man, look at the case in Yemen. Look at the case in Syria. Look at the cases all over Africa, man. Take people in. Don't take people in just because you think that they are white, blue-eyed. Don't do that. Or they are Jewish. Don't do that, because it gets to a point when, you know, the bigotry is just exposed. But you guys are exposing your racist nature. And of course, that transcribes into some of your policies that you ship to these countries, man. The same policies that you have in place for some of your European folks, you don't have them for the browns and the blacks. You dig, man? I just had to bring this up. Let's talk about it. Leave your comment. I know it's not Mr. J's forte or my domain, but bro, it gets to a point, man, when you see a whole lot of shit, man, you just get fed up. If this makes me a wanted in a couple of African countries, it's okay, but it's all love. But you know what? We gonna keep it real up in this mother. You dig, man? Hey, I'm not even gonna ask you to hit that subscribe button, man. Just leave your comment. You dig? It's just an open debate. What you think? Because it gets to a point where it's like, man, what's happening? You feel me? And to think that they are now trying to force some African countries to vote and take sides with them, especially France, to take sides in the United Nations. This is the dumbest shit, but you know we got pussies for leaders. And some of them gonna start taking sides. Leave what is in Europe for Europeans. Let's focus on our own continent. You dig, man? I'm out of here, bro. Man, hey, somebody gotta say it. You dig? We gotta say it. We gotta keep it 100. Peace.
Action God, big up TRB family. MisterJaay, I see you. I know some artists don't do this. God